Welcome to Wednesday Night Insight and a little series I'm doing entitled Self-Care for the New Year. And in July of 2022, I hit a kind of self-care wall. Things were overwhelming at home and at work. And just like so many of us, when things get tough, the first thing to go is self-care. And even knowing better, I found myself in that trap. And so something really needed to be done about it. And there are some signs that come up in our bodies, in our minds, and in our lives that can tell us that we're not taking care of ourselves. The first is when we're no longer feeling quite ourselves, when something's missing in your life and you're not quite sure what it is, and all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, it's me. It's that energy that I bring to life. Your self-care is waning when you're no longer looking forward to the daily activities, even things that you would generally enjoy. You find yourself in a bit of a fog or in a place of uncertainty and stress. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is suffering silently. Carrying something in your heart or on your mind, spending a lot of time fighting with people in your head, but not in real life. And all of a sudden, it creates this sense of withdrawal and isolation that begins to weigh on you. All of a sudden, the weight of the world feels like it's on your shoulders. And so if you felt that way, it's a sign that self-care is needed. And on this particular July day, that's what I realized was taking place for me. And so I needed to build some strategies, and I built two. I'm going to share one with you today and one next week. And the first strategy that I built for myself is that I really wanted to get my way of life back. That's what sent missing to me, is a way of approaching each day from the best of myself, as opposed to feeling like a wave has picked me up and is just flipping me around underwater. And so the first strategy that I decided to impart upon is I was going to intentionally decide what each day was for. And I invite you to take out a paper and a pen and to join me in this practice. What is each day for? And so I wrote down Monday, which for me is the start of the week. And I wrote down that in the mornings, the time is about writing. It's about writing my Sunday talks or a talk that I might be giving to you right now. But it's not a time for other work or answering emails or text messages. It's just that time for spiritual practice and for writing. Then it's some time for exercise. And then on Mondays, I really wanted to focus on my mentor relationships, getting to talk with new ministers out there in the field. And at night, at least for the second half of 2022, it's been about family time, spending time with my daughter and my son, if I can get them around, my wife as well. And so that was Monday. Tuesday was more about work and administration. It's about showing up and helping to run the business of Mile High Church here and go to meetings and check in on people and see how they're doing. And then often to teach a class at night. And so it's taking time to have a long work day, but two distinct roles. Wednesday is about spiritual practice and exercise again in the morning. It's administration, but not as much. And in the evening time, it's either presenting in some way or trying to connect with a good friend if I can. Some more family time as well. Thursday is a day where I do, if I'm speaking on a Sunday, like to start focusing on what it is that I'm going to say that week based upon what I wrote on Monday. It's a time, too, where I like to put my counseling sessions. Can I get them all in on Thursdays? And, of course, there's some administration as well. Friday is more of a personal writing day if I can get it. It's a great day for me to do chores out there in the world, stopping by the cleaners, whatever it may be, getting a haircut. And then if I can get a date night on Friday night, that's wonderful. And Saturday is a reflective day for spiritual practice, but it's also a daddy-daughter day and a day for family time as well. Sunday, often a church day, but is usually a day of sacred facilitation, and in the evening for some me time or some connection time with friends. And so I know all of that sounds like a lot, but it made a big difference for me to say this is the intention of each day. Now, do some days go differently than planned? Of course. So I have to adjust. But for the most part, this made a huge difference in my self-care and in my life. Firstly, what it did by having an intention for each day, I knew what it is that I had to do, and I knew when I could take care of something else at a later time. So Monday morning, working on my talk, I didn't have to be worried about the emails and all the administration because I was going to be able to do it on Tuesday. It's a simple act of intention. Or on Tuesday, when I'm working really hard managing, I know I don't have to worry about my talk because I'm going to come back to it at a later time. So no longer did I feel overwhelmed trying to do everything at one time, but I was able to approach a busy life with the right role. And that's the second thing, is finding the right role. Part of why I was missing my way of life is because I was trying to wear so many hats at one time that I was losing a sense of being my authentic self. It's not good when I'm Reverend Josh at the dinner table with my family, or when I'm Administrator Josh teaching a class, or when I'm Speaker Josh trying to help someone through a challenging time in their lives. So by identifying the right role for the moment, it's helped me feel more myself. Lastly, it's given me a greater illusion of control of my day-to-day life. By bringing a sense of intentionality, I can have that experience of kind of being there before it happens. There's a consciousness that is a part of each day. And so when I step into it, I know that there's this prayerfulness. There's this extra awareness that allows me to be fully present with what is without feeling pulled in a million different directions. So what's your Monday about? Your Tuesday, your Wednesday, your Thursday, your Friday, your Saturday, and your Sunday. This little practice of being intentional about what each day is for can make a huge difference in your life. I talked about the signs about when self-care is waning, but there are other signs that can tell us when self-care is rising. First, those words of Shunryu Suzuki come to mind. How can you get your life in order if you yourself are not in order? So, a good sign that you're taking good care of yourself is when you feel present, when you feel intentional, when you feel that your life is yours and not belonging to somebody else. Again, you begin to feel more yourself, more into a flow, more into an environment. And lastly, you feel a sense of synchronicity, like you are where you're supposed to be. Henry Nouwen, the great Catholic teacher, talks about that when he's missing time in his prayer life, that life seems a bunch of not divine encounters, but of random incidents. I don't want a life of random incidents. I want a life of divine encounters where I feel in the flow. That may come from you, not from your prayer life, but from your meditation or simply doing a good job each day. But you have the right to create your flow. You have a right to do the things that you want to be doing and find that creates a momentum for you that carries you not only into greater self-care, but into more successful living as well.
So as we just settle into this knowingness right now, into this space of centering ourselves out of the busy mind and into the love, heartfelt space of our heart, of our center, of our beingness, we simply turn into the space that knows no boundaries. The absolute, the totality of everything, the completion of all things, and yet the unfoldment of everything. All that is, all that was, all that will ever be. We simply allow this to be our awareness in this moment as we turn and recognize and realize how much is readily available in the creation of everything. For there is no place where the mighty power of God, of essence, of all, does not touch. There's no one, there's no thing. Absolutely everything is the culmination of the unfoldment, the collaborative effort of revealing what is. It's this space, this knowingness, this connection to the grander scope of everything that we tune into these vibrations, these frequencies that uplift us into a space of remembering. For just as the sun shines and every ray that shines out of that sun is unique and individual, it is also part of something more, that bigger thing, that universal thing that is. It's the totality of everything, the completion, the ultimate all of all. Every drop of rain, every leaf that falls in the fall time, every new growth that comes forth in the spring, every grain of sand, every drop of water, every molecule of air, everything that we can possibly name, identify, and experience through all of our senses. And even more than that is this thing that we call life, is this thing that we call God and Spirit, and all the other names that we call it. The I am. I am any number of those things, and I am me right here, right now, and you are you, and yet we are one. One with the Absolute, as the one and in the one and through the one. For I know that as I breathe the molecules of air that we've already identified as so much more, we are also a part of that air, contributing to it, being a part of it, flowing with and through and around all of it. It's this knowingness, this connection with the one and as the one, that brings me full faith that the words that I speak in this moment are indeed moving forward through the creative force and taking form instantaneously. It's this knowingness that allows me to settle into the spiritual space of faith and spiritual fulfillment. Feeling that knowingness that no matter where I am or what I am thinking or doing, no matter what is going on in our outer world or inner world, we are always sourced, always tapped into and a part of this great wave of creative motion that is moving forth in all directions and all frequencies. And so as I experience these things and I experience what looks like a unique ray of light or a unique being around me that might be somehow different, I also see the mirror reflection of who I am and what I am and everyone and everything. And this is spiritual fulfillment as I live each wakened moment, recognizing, feeling, and expressing God in all that is and all that I do. It's here in this place that I can feel and experience and know that there is more than enough for everyone, everywhere, at all times. That there is no diminishment by me accepting what is for me and you accepting what is for you. The totality is infinite. So we allow this infinite to wash us, to bathe us with all that we need in any fashion, way, shape, or form, bringing forth the highest and best for us in this moment, revealing our next best move for us individually and for humankind and for all that is beyond humankind. Feeling my cup being filled to overflowing, I allow myself to relate with the I am and to relate the I am in all that I am and all that I do. How good it is to know this and feel this as I move about my daily life, to experience God everywhere and in everything. With great gratitude for the expressions that are all around me and all within me. Great gratitude to recognize, to know, and to experience this. I simply place these words into the consciousness, into that flow of all that is, into the alchemy of everything, and know that it is immediately acted upon. For these are the words of the I am. We allow it to be, we let it go, and so it is.